Like, just calm down. Calm down, everyone, as I yell. Because you just lost when you start attacking people. You really have. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to American Shade. It's Brittany King, your host and your girl. And today we are going to briefly discuss the art of critical thinking and, most importantly, thinking for yourself. So American Shade is just where you kind of just let your guards down and you just engage with thinkers and ideas and beliefs that you normally wouldn't. And with that, because we have so many different point of views coming to this platform, there's so many of you engaging in the comment section with people you normally wouldn't encounter online. And what I'm seeing is it's overwhelmingly positive. And when I say positive, I don't mean that people are converting people to think the way they think, but positive that the fact that you guys are respectful. And that's what I want. I want this platform to be respectful. And that doesn't mean that people might not offend you with what they say or their perspective. Because in order to think, you have to risk being offensive. And in order to have a conversation with people, you have to also risk getting offended. But with that, a lot of good can happen because contrary to most people's beliefs, I can just speak for me. When I say something, my intent is not to offend you, but I have been conversations where I might offend someone and they just still take it in and engage with me. And they might offend me and I still stay in the conversation. We have a back and forth, whether it goes up and down, but those conversations that push you and what you have and what you're made of and your thinking and your heart even, they really can build your character. And then they help you in the long run with other conversations you have with other people. But enough babbling. So for this video, we are going to be looking at a short clip of Jordan Peterson and his take on critical thinking. And then I'm just going to give my commentary. Some of you might be thinking, oh my gosh, you're a woman. Oh my gosh, you're Black. How can you like Jordan Peterson? Well, I am, and I do. But I also I just got some books back there. I like Christopher Hitchens, Joan Didion, good. James Baldwin, of course. Tom Wolfe, Radical Chic. This book is really good, I have to say. Toni Morrison. I like Thomas Chatterton Williams. This is one of his new books. He actually was in my program. 11 years before me, he was in the same criticism program at NYU for grad school. So I learned that fact. That was cool. Of course, Ta-Nehisi Coates. I even have Anthony Bourdain. Kitchen Confidential. If you have not seen my top 15 favorite minds, I list some of these people that I have in this book collection. And if you want to know a little bit more about me and people that I find inspirational, check those videos out. They'll be somewhere over here. And I list all those people and I say all that to say, I like all those different type of minds because I don't idolize thinkers and philosophers and public intellectuals like Jordan Peterson. I don't see any person as a Bible, as to take 100% of their ideas as facts or truth. The only thing that I see as a Bible and as truth and perfect is Jesus Christ, because I love God. Yeah. But the thing is I realized through my program at NYU and grad school and getting my master's in journalism and that's focused in criticism and then going on my own journey that I'm on, which you guys know there's videos on it. I'm seeing that you don't have to throw away a whole person just because you disagree with some of their ideas or a lot of their ideas. Sometimes when I re-examine and I go back at people that I kind of like placed on the shelf, so to speak, I realize they might have said one brilliant thing that actually helps me figure out an idea that I've been dealing with. But anyways, let's get into this video or I'm going to keep talking.
Oh.
Yeah, but I still found it. It's still in 430.
Oh, okay. Well, there's an essay. Oh, that's too bad. It's not on the Psych 434 website even?
I didn't check.
Because I updated it. Anyways, I have this guide to writing that if it isn't on the 434 website, it is definitely on the 430 website. And it steps people through the process of writing. Because what's happened now, it's very hard to teach people to write because it's unbelievably time intensive. And like marking a good essay, that's really easy. Check A. You did everything right. Marking a bad essay? Oh my God. The words are wrong, the phrases are wrong, the sentences are wrong, they're not ordered right in the paragraphs aren't coherent, and the whole thing makes no sense. So trying to tell the person what they did wrong, it's like, well, you did everything wrong. Everything about this essay is wrong. Well, that's not helpful either. You have to find the few little things they did half right, and you have to teach them what they did wrong. It's really expensive. And so what I did with this rubric was try to address that from the production side instead of the grading side. But the best thing you can do is teach people to write, because there's no difference between that and thinking. And one of the things that just blows me away about universities is that no one ever tells students why they should write something. It's like, well, you have to do this assignment. Well, why are you writing? Well, you need the grade. It's like, no, you need to learn to think.
So what Jordan is saying is just absolutely true. Like, I think for most critics and thinkers and philosophers and intellectuals, or whatever, definitely writers, and I'll just speak from my point of view, no matter if I am doing a video for this channel or if I'm going on someone's podcast, I always write out my ideas, because I want to make sure I can make logical sense of it. I want to make sure I can get it as concise as possible, even if I can get it down to a paragraph. If I can communicate that to you, that means I know what I am saying and I know what I mean in here. And I know how to verbally say it and present it to you and to the public. And sometimes if I can't do that yet, then I don't say it out loud, because that means that I might not be ready to present this idea to anyone. I always make sure that my idea is sharp. I always make sure that it still makes sense to me and that I still agree with it. Like, I'm always critically analyzing my points of view routinely all the time. And if I need help to kind of flesh it out, I might grab a book behind me and like help me to get to what I'm trying to say. Also, I try to stay away from metaphors, and I try to stay away from using elaborate words, using $10 words, so to speak. I can use those words. I often use those words in conversations in life. But when it comes to platforms like this or even podcasts, sometimes just people might not understand certain words you're trying to use. And it's not that you're dumbing down the content, it's more of just simplifying it. Because sometimes people's goals is to use a bunch of words that's complicated and a bunch of $10 words to try to go over people's head, to almost try to like present themselves as this intellectual and to just be smart. If you're only making content to come off smart, then you're not doing it right. I want people to do that with me. I want intellectuals to talk to me. I don't want them to talk at me. And that's the whole point of this. Also, people often ask me, and I've gotten this a lot, so I'm addressing it. People often ask, how are you so calm when you're critiquing ideas that you might disagree with or people you might disagree with? Like, how are you so calm? Well, that's the power of the edit button. Also, what I do, because I'm human. So I'm not like, oh, I disagree with this idea and like I'm a robot. No, I have emotions and they come out sometimes. What I try to do is I actually try to get those emotions out before a critique. I'll read what they have to say. I'll hear what they have to say and get out what I feel about them. And then if I feel like I've come to a place where I am ready to respond to what they wrote down in prose or what they said in a video, et cetera, and not react to it and not just have my emotions be like, I'm going to get you. When I feel like I can do that and try to get as close as being objective as I possibly can, which no one can be 100% objective. We all have biases and we can just get as close to it as we can. Then I feel like I'm ready to do it. Even though it takes time, it's worth the time and effort. And I hope more people just do that on a regular. Just have time to just, like just calm down. Calm down, everyone, as I yell, and think things through and respond. You can still be critical of the idea, and there's no need to attack that person. There's just no point, because you just lost when you start attacking people. Like you really did. You really have.
Because thinking makes you act effectively in the world. Thinking makes you win the battles you undertake. And those could be battles for good things. If you can think and speak and write, you are absolutely deadly. Nothing can get in your way. So that's why you learn to write. It's like, and I can't believe that people aren't just told that. It's like, It's the most powerful weapon you can possibly provide someone with. And I mean, I know lots of people who've been staggeringly successful and watched them throughout my life. I mean, those people, you don't want to have an argument with them. They'll just slash you into pieces. And not in a malevolent way. It's like, if you're going to make your point and they're going to make their point, you better have your points organized, because otherwise you are going to look like and be an absolute idiot. You are not going to get anywhere. And if you can formulate your arguments coherently and make a presentation, if you can speak to people, if you can lay out a proposal, God, people give you money, they give you opportunities, you have influence. That's what you're at university for. And so that's what you do. Is you're in English, right? And yeah, in languages anyways. It's like, yeah, teach people to be articulate, because that's the most dangerous thing you can possibly be. So, and that's motivating if people know that. It's like, well, why are you learning to write? Because here's your sword, here's your M16, right? Here's your bulletproof vest. Like, you learn how to use them. But it's an endless mystery to me why that isn't made self-evident. So that's the sort of thing that can drive you mad trying to sort out. It's like there's a conspiracy to bring people into the education system to make them weaker. So I guess that keeps the competition down. Maybe that's one way of thinking about it. If your students are stupid, they're not going to challenge you.
Just overall, I champion people to really use their critical minds. I really champion people to think for themselves. The reason why I wanted to create this forum is because I see in America that we come to conclusions based on assumptions, and that people lack the want to really critically think about ideas that are in direct opposition of them. They don't want to take the time to think about the other person's point of view, especially when that person really believes what they believe. I say this because I get it. I feel this. I've done this. And there's sometimes where I don't want to hear what someone has to say, but then I realize I have to challenge myself to do that. As humans, we have to, because as much as you want people to understand you, you have to get to know other people too, and just give it a chance. Just do it once, twice, or all the time.
We're having a conversation. I'm deciding I'm going to listen to you. Right? That's different than how people generally communicate, because usually when they communicate, they're doing something like, okay, we're going to have a conversation and I'm going to tell you why I'm right and I'll win if you agree. Or maybe you're having a conversation where, I don't know what you're trying to do. Maybe you're trying to impress the person you're talking to. So you're not listening to them at all. You're just thinking about what you're going to say next. Okay, so that's not this. This is, you might have something to tell me. And so I'm going to listen on the off chance that you'll tell me something that would really be useful for me to know. And so you could think about it as an extension of the Piagetian. You know, Piaget talked about the fundamentally important element of knowledge being to describe how knowledge is sought, the process by which knowledge is generated. Well, if you agree with me and I find that out, I know nothing more than I knew before. I just know what I knew before. And maybe I'm happy about that because, you know, it didn't get challenged. But I'm no smarter than I was before. But maybe you're different than me, and so while I'm listening to you, you'll tell me something I don't like. Maybe it's something I find contemptible or difficult, whatever. Maybe you'll tell me something I don't know, and then I won't be quite as stupid. And then maybe I won't run painfully into quite as many things. And that's a really useful thing to know, especially if you live with someone and you're trying to make long-term peace with them, is they're not the same as you. And their way they look at the world and the facts that they pull out of the world aren't the same as your facts. And even though you're going to be overwhelmed with the proclivity to demonstrate that you're right, it is the case that two brains are better than one. And so maybe 9 of the 10 things they tell you are dispensable, or maybe even 49 out of 50, but one thing, all you need to get out of the damn conversation is one thing you don't know. And one of the things that's very cool about a good psychotherapeutic session is that the whole conversation is like that. All you're doing is trying to express the truth of the situation as clearly as possible. That's it.
I hope people just take time to try to make logical sense of what their ideas are, why they believe certain things, why they even have conflict with certain things. People, if you don't agree with something because you critically got to that conclusion, that's fine. Of course, I don't agree with a lot of things. But if you're just an echo chamber for someone else's idea, you have to reassess that. Because I feel like that's going on a lot in this country, that people don't even know why they believe things, but they have such a merry tie to it. And when you ask them what they believe or why they believe certain things, they might get sensitive or they might want to stop the conversation, which I don't want. I want to talk to more people and I want more people to engage, because we can all do this respectfully. And the cool thing that I found is the more conversations I have with people, no matter the point of view, I realized that with the dialogue, what people really want is to be respected during the discussion.
Well, I've been quite influenced by Rogers. One of the things I try to do in my therapeutic sessions is, first of all, to listen, to really listen. And then while I listen, I watch. And while I'm listening, things will happen in my head. You know, maybe I'll get a little image of something, or I'll get a thought or a question will emerge, and then I'll just tell the person what that is. But it's sort of directionless, you know. It's not like I have a goal, except that we're trying to make things better. I'm on the side of the person, I'm on the side of the part of the person that wants things to be better, not worse. And so then those parts of us have a dialogue, and the consequence of that dialogue is that certain things take place, and then I'll just tell the person what happened. And it isn't that I'm right. That's not the point. The point is that they get to have an hour where someone actually tells them what they think. Here's the impact you're having on me. You know, this is making me angry. This is making me happy. This is really interesting. This reminds me of something that you said an hour ago that I don't quite understand. And the whole point is not for either person to make the proposition or convince the other that their position is correct, but merely to have an exchange of experience about how things are set up. And it's extraordinarily useful for people, because it's often difficult for anyone to find anyone to talk to that will actually listen. And so another thing that's really strange about this listening is that if you listen to people, they will tell you the weirdest bloody things so fast you just cannot believe it. So if you're having a conversation with someone and it's dull, it's because you're stupid. That's why. You're not listening to them properly, because they're weird. They're like wombats or albatrosses or rhinoceroses or something. Like, they're strange creatures. And so if you were actually communicating with them and they were telling you how weird they really are, it would be anything but boring. So, and you can ask questions. That's a really good way of listening. But, you know, one of Roger's points is, well, you have to be oriented properly in order to listen. And the orientation has to be, look, what I want out of this conversation is that the place we both end up is better than the place we left. That's it. That's what I'm after. And if you're not after that, you got to think, why the hell wouldn't you be after that? What could you possibly be after that would be better than that? You walk away smarter and more well-equipped for the world than you were before you had the conversation, and so does the other person.
It's not even about proving that they're right or that you're wrong. It's like, can we sit here and talk about our differences and be respectful? Can we do that? It's such a lofty goal, but can we achieve that? And when you do it every time, I just see like this hope and humanity in people. Like, it's kind of incredible when you think about it. Because when I walk away from these discussions, I'm like, I still believe what I believe. They still believe what they believe. And I actually got something from what they said because we came into this in good faith. But what I really enjoyed is that we sat in this conversation for 3 hours, even when it got heated, even when it got tense, or even when we both were like in an emotional tie together, because we're like, we see eye to eye on this. Wow, this is awesome. But what I personally love is the fact that you were able to sit there and listen to me, and then I was able to sit here and listen to you. And that is what we want in America. I really feel like people just want to be heard and listened to, and not to be called a thing because they believe in something. But for that person just to hear them out, hear what I have to say clearly. And if you still don't agree, that's fine, but at least you gave me a chance to explain myself. And that is what American Shade is for. So I understand There's so many different point of views on issues, and there's so many different types of people. And that is what's made me mature with my own morals and made me mature with how I just view humans. This is really sounding like chicken soup for the soul. Sorry. I'm just really passionate about this. Like, I'm really, truly passionate about this. And that's why I became a writer. That's why I became a journalist more so. I just see a lot of blind spots. And if I can use this channel to bridge gaps and to get people to come together and just talk, present their ideas, and have these exchanges that are fruitful, then that's worth it. So, wrapping up this video, I just want to say thank you so much for supporting American Shade. If you want to donate to this channel, think about donating to my Patreon page. Thank you to all my Patreons. You guys are so awesome. I'm putting you all right here. All of you. You guys are so awesome. Like, I am so thankful that you are supporting me in this way. You have helped me get a better camera. You have helped me get this so I sound better. And I'm pouring into this channel because I want to make better content for you guys. And I'm realizing the better the content it looks, the more people look at it. That's a thought, right? Share this video, like this video, comment below. What do you think? What are you critically thinking about right now? And what do you think about this whole process of our race relations and our communication skills in America? I want to know. And also comment below some of your favorite thinkers. Like, I want to know some more thinkers that I can be looking at and reading up on. Like, always interested in that. And then philosophers, intellectuals, writers, let me know. I want to learn too. I'm here to learn as well. We all need to learn. So, for the 50th time, peace, love, and less shade.